Very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all my lovely fellow listeners. The wait is over. The lady that you were expecting to have is just with us. With that, she is none other than Alyssa Utecht. A very warm welcome to you and namaste to you, Alyssa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Namaste.
so much for being with us.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you very much. And before you tell something more, or before we ask you, here is an excellent detail that you have sent it to announce to our listeners. Well, once again, please welcome Alyssa Utecht, a compassionate coach, intuitive healer, a women's empowerment guide who has supported others through deep listening and empathy for as long as she can remember. Great. Elisa's mission is to help women release stress, toxic patterns, self worth blocks, and emotional obstacles so they can shine brightly. When women own their light, they give others permission to do the same, creating healing ripples in the world. Yes, I am one of the recipients. Get ready for a heartfelt wisdom, practical tools, and inspiring insight that will leave you feeling empowered and alive. And with this, Eliza, allow me to ask the first question, which goes like this. You describe your heightened sensitivity as shifting, a burden to your greatest gift. Can you please share how that transformation happened and how it now shapes the way you coach the
Mhm.
women? The platform is yours. Eliza,
Oh,
please.
yes. Thank you so much. This is a big question. So, I think like a lot of us, we were born as very sensitive beings, right? And we maybe it took us quite a while for some of us to realize it.
Mhm.
So, I was a sensitive child. I felt things. I could sense, I could feel the room. I
Mhm.
sensed anger or sadness, or I could feel when something was off, even if the person didn't really know it or admit it. And so I think in my earlier years, I started unconsciously trying to make everyone feel better because I knew something was off. So you spend years trying to help, and I am a natural helper. I love it. It gives me energy. And when we try to do too much for other people to help alleviate their stress or their worry or their anxiety or their grief, we end up giving and giving and giving, and then we end up empty. And
Right.
for me, that looked like, pain, illness, disease. And when I started to understand what was really going on, I was able to start to shift it and then now use that empathy and compassion for the clients and my family and the people in my life.
Great. You are doing great work. As you said that you are sharing, willing to give and give. Yes. The person who gives, he only or she or they only gets back. And I have experienced that whatever you give,
Yeah.
10,000 times more, it comes back to you.
Yeah.
And when you give something good, naturally, we get a person like you. Thank you. Thank you
Yes.
very much. Well, Elisa, as you said, that giving is the main reason that you are working with. Well, many women struggle with setting boundaries
Mhm.
and saying no without guilt. For them, what practical steps help them creating boundaries with power and certainty while still staying compassionate? What would be your answer, Elisa?
So I am learning, and I believe that boundaries come down to how safe we feel. So it all comes down to the central nervous system. So
Right?
we can have tips and tools, say this in order to set a boundary with your kids. Yes, that's helpful. And if our system is flashing, this isn't safe, this isn't safe, the words will not come out in a place of calm, centered power. So the key is to use tools, and there's so many, as you know, use tools to calm your system and just let it know it's safe and get it back in that parasympathetic nervous system state. And from
Okay.
there, when we set a boundary, it the people, they hear it, they feel it, and it resonates, and it just feels so much easier from our perspective and from their perspective, so everyone understands the expectations.
Okay. Okay. As you said that you should be able to make others understand to keep the boundaries.
Mhm.
Well, but again, what questions comes to me is while keeping the boundaries, how do you interact or how do you feel bit near to the person to whom you want to interact or whom you want to connect? What is that?
So, how you're asking how you repeat that again, please?
Yeah, I am saying that you want to keep boundaries
Yes.
on one hand, whereas on the
Mhm.
other hand, you want to be near to the person. How is
Yes.
it possible?
Oh, that is an excellent question. Thank you for asking. So, when we have porous boundaries, what's
Right?
really happening is our energy is leaking out through holes and other people's stuff is getting in. And even though it feels on one level like it feels good to be close to someone,
Mm-hmm.
neither party benefits if someone is carrying our energy or if we are carrying someone else's. So the idea is to clear your space. And there's lots of ways to do that. And then if you have those firm energetic boundaries,
Right?
this is why I say boundaries are an inside job, then you can be in your true, authentic self. They can be in their true, authentic self and space. And
Mm-hmm.
then the connection is so much deeper and richer
Mm-hmm.
when you're both in your own personal boundary, in your own personal space. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes. And I would anxious to know that. Can you please quote or can you please explain one of the cases that you have come through and which he or she has
Mm,
experienced this and she has expressed that yes, this happened, I experienced or I got some benefit out of it. Can
mm.
you please narrate one of the examples?
Absolutely. I love that. So I did have a client who
Mhm.
was very, very close with her aging mother. And they both liked to travel and they traveled together. And there was some stickiness, as you
Right.
can imagine, right? When we spend very close time and proximity with family, sometimes, right? So she loves her mom. She loves traveling with her mom. And she would often find herself get impatient,
Oh,
get annoyed. Um, she felt the heavy responsibility of like taking care of them both, right? She was overly worried about her mom, what she needed, what she wanted to do on these trips. When they were out there, she was protective. And while all these things are good when we want to care for someone we love, if it's from that place of irritation and annoyance and overgiving, it's not always received in the same way, right? You don't necessarily feel loved when someone is annoyed at you and trying to take care of you. So we had some sessions and we worked on, the emotions and the thoughts. And of course, with parents and kids, there's all the other baggage, right? And siblings. So we worked and healed a lot of the past baggage. And she went on a trip and she sent me an email later, she said, I couldn't believe it. I
great.
I didn't get impatient. She said, I
Mhm.
sat in a line at an elevator for like 10 minutes and I wasn't annoyed. We just talked. My mom did her thing. I just asked what she needed and then I took her at face value, what she said. I
Mhm.
believed what she said. So it really took off the stress and the anxiety and the worry, but also just allowed her to love this thing that she loved, which was traveling. So she got to just feel more joy in this experience, which is something that she loved to do and loved to do with her mom.
Oh, great, great experience. Wish I can be your client to experience that.
We can talk after this.
Lovely, lovely, sure. Well, as you said something about the boundary, for me, the boundary is all around and it's a
Mhm.
circle. And in circle, it's just like a wheel which has got
Mhm.
number of spokes. It has
Yeah.
got relation with your health, wealth, fitness, relation, money,
Mhm.
outside, society, your work, everything. And Elisa, you are the one who has not only experience but taught people how to value money.
Mhm.
And regarding that, you are the one that you also identify and break through their money ceiling. And yes, at least I have met many women, and this is a very big question for them. Now, Alisa, what are the most common invisible blocks you
Mhm.
see, and how do they clear them to receive great abundance?
Oh,
Alisa, please.
this is such a great question. And of course, a lot of these things include men also, right?
Mhm.
You know, how men experience the world. So my intention is not to be exclusive at all. So money is really a thermostat. It is a reflection, a mirror that shines back to us to tell us what's going on underneath. So again, it comes down to the central nervous system. So if I
Right?
may
Oh.
give you a very short example, if you were to take a moment and think about like one type of money, your debt, think
Mhm.
about the money that you owe. So for your listeners, just take a minute and add up those numbers the best you can in your mind. Just think, okay, you know, my home, I owe this much, my car, you know, I owe my friend $20 for dinner last week, whatever it is, and add it up in your mind and then really picture and feel that number. And what happens is when we dive deep into these types of money, there is a feeling that comes up. So when you look at that number, maybe you owe $10,000. And I know not everyone works in dollars, but we'll just use
Right.
the $10,000 or $20,000 or 30,000. Start to get bigger numbers, you're going to feel that in your body. So there are feelings that come up like I see anxiety and shame are the big ones. There are thoughts that are going to come up with it like I'm a failure.
Oh.
How did I let this happen? How am I going to fix this? What am I going to do? I need to take care of my family. And often there is a past experience or trauma or memory that pops up with it as we do this work. And some of them are obvious memories, like, you know, a bankruptcy or you lose a job or something that, you know, seems tied to money. But
Hmm.
often a childhood memory comes up that doesn't seem to be tied to money, but it's tied to the anxiety or the shame or the worry. So what I do with clients is we peel back the layers and get to that root feeling and belief, and then we work on healing that. And that is really what adjusts that thermostat. So then the
Hmm.
more we heal, the more we open up, the better we are able to receive from the abundance of the universe. So that is what's stopping us is not the facts and figures of, oh, my job only pays this, or oh, you know, I owe this. It runs much, much deeper. And so when you heal that, the outer world completely changes.
Great. And when you are saying healing has got relation with money,
Yeah.
then one question came to my mind, and that is, can your healing help someone who has got fear for speaking or expressing or being on the stage, something like that?
Absolutely. It's all the same, right? It all comes down to, especially with public speaking and
Oh.
showing up on social media and being seen, it
Mm-hmm.
comes down to how safe you feel. Not
Oh.
what your brain knows, oh, I'm in an auditorium or I'm online, it's totally safe. but what our system registers. Maybe you had an experience when you were a child in school where you had to stand up in front of the class and present something and it didn't go well. And so your system learned, oh, this is not safe. So it all comes down to feeling safe, getting in that parasympathetic nervous system state, and
Ooh,
retraining our brains and our bodies to feel comfortable. Then we go speak from that space, and then our voice can truly be heard.
right, right. Oh, your internet connection is bit
Oh,
disturbing
oh no.
because here we have got a very different season at present. We have got a lot of wind is blowing here, so it may be because of this side, or I don't know because of your
Okay.
side. But
We'll keep going.
anyway, but very interesting reply that you gave, that when any person if is unable to speak, it
Mhm.
they must be having some trauma or the relation with past. I
Mhm.
fully agree with that. Yes, it must be there, but at the same time, with those people, again, if they break that boundary and they become confident, you always say that it gives you the ripple effect. How that ripple effect works.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. That, oh, we affect each other, do we not?
Mhm.
For good and for bad. So I do have a client who was starting a new business and she could not make that video online. She could not make herself make it in either. She was bilingual. She couldn't do it in either language. And this one just was one session. We sat down and we, peeled back the layers and just sort of dug deep on what was behind it and behind it and behind it. And she'd had some, like all of us, some trauma in her childhood and some scary things happened. And somewhere in there, her little system learned it wasn't safe to need things, to be out in the world, to speak up. And so when we healed this, oh my goodness, she went on she's all over the internet. She's, growing this business. She's got clients. So she's now impacting everyone who follows her on social media, all of her clients, and then all of her clients' families, and then all of the people they interact with. So we know that in this world, it doesn't take much for that impact to ripple out. So that's something that I've always think of and just am so grateful that she was able to go into the world and do the thing that she's meant to do to help
Mhm.
other people.
Wow, great. So it works. Beautiful.
It does. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So first thing, as soon as this program is over, I will go to my wife and hug her.
Please do. Please do. That's the ripple, right? And then, when it's energy, it goes out 10 feet past our bodies or further or further. So we are impacting the world just by being who we are in
Very
being a
correct.
light.
Beautiful. I love that reply. Well, great, great, great. Well, Elisa, you said this about the ripple effect, which I liked the most. But at the same time, Elisa, how does the learning to love yourself more, which most of the people they don't realize, they don't do it. So especially in body, mind, and spirit, that becomes the foundation for reducing your stress, craving, and overwhelm. Is it so? If yes, then how?
Oh, this is such an important question. You are correct. So many of us somewhere
Hmm.
along the way learned that either we weren't good enough or
Hmm.
we have to earn our love or our worth. And even if we had wonderful, amazing, loving parents, the world can be a hard place to be in sometimes, especially even just when you're a kid and around other kids, right? So I think the most important pieces are compassion.
Mm-hmm.
compassion for where you are right now. So we can't go from not feeling enough to I am the most valuable person on the planet in 30 seconds. So,
Mm-hmm.
what's the very next step you could just invite yourself to believe?
Okay.
So, maybe it's I deserve compassion. Or yeah, I had some hard things growing up. Or yeah, I'm really good at this. This one thing, I'm an excellent, you know, football player, whatever it is. So, start with the compassion and meet yourself where you are. Try not to resist, oh, but I want to love myself and I need this. Nope, just where am I right now? And give
Mm-hmm.
yourself love, because when we give ourselves compassion and then we are nurtured and then we can bloom, right? Just like a flower, just like a tree. It can take a little bit, but just it starts with the love and compassion.
Well, you said about the compassion. Yes, definitely it's working. And for that, just I read somewhere that if possible, every day you should stand in front of the mirror and say, yes, I am lovable, I am acceptable, I am the one who helps everyone. Is it so? Does it work? Have you tried?
Oh, yes. I have done a lot of mirror work.
Oh,
I also, I spent 21 days looking at myself in the mirror morning, evening, and saying positive things, saying loving things, and there's that balance where you don't want to be trying to say things that don't feel true, right? So you want it to resonate. So if you say something to yourself and immediately think, "Oh, that's not true," well, then there's somebody else's voices in your head, and so it might be a two level approach. Maybe you work on getting that voice out of your head through journaling, or you can write it all out and burn it, or there's lots of ways, meditation, or having an imaginary conversation with this person, just giving their stuff back to them. So the mirror work is so valuable. And if you feel like, oh, this doesn't feel true, then there's maybe another layer to look at first, if that resonates.
good, good. No doubt. I'm not that regular but I promise you from today I'll be regular and practicing it. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you
And
very much for
yeah. Yeah.
good. Well, Eliza, for women feeling stuck between their current reality and confidence, align life that they desire. For that, what is the most important first shift they
Mm.
can make today? What is the
Mm.
first step one should take? Please tell.
You know, this is a good one.
Mhm.
I would say bring yourself back to you. Now,
Okay.
what does that
Authentic.
mean? Right. What does
What,
that mean? So
what does that mean?
I picture this is how this is how I picture it. So,
Hmm.
have you seen a child riding a bike down a hill, and then suddenly no one gets hurt, but suddenly they lose control and their arms and legs are flopping all over and they're just trying to ride the bike, right?
Right.
So compare that to someone who's in the Tour de France, the international biking competition, bicycle competition. That person is like, they're balanced, they are focused, they are like, their energy is pulled in and it's going forward in the direction that they want, rather than the kid who's, you know, really has no control where he's going and he lands very safely in the grass. So that's what I mean by pull yourself into you, because there is a lot of noise in the world, a lot of voices, a lot of
Hmm.
do this. This is how
Yeah.
you can find your next career. Do this, take this course, work out here, eat this. Oh my gosh, there's so much noise. And that can really be, not only can it make us feel already like we're behind, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing the things. I'm already a failure and I haven't even started. But it also can distract us from our own inner voice, which is our intuition, which is the place to go if you need assistance, guidance, and help.
Oh,
So when we pull it in and turn inward and
okay.
listen to our own voice,
Hmm.
and sometimes our own voice says, oh, reach out to this person. It's
Right.
not that we have to do it alone, but when we start from this place,
Mm-hmm.
then everything opens up and it becomes easier. So
Great.
if you can pull yourself in and picture yourself on that bike, focused and just in your space, then that is a great place to start. And it might take practice, and that's okay.
Wow. Great. Simple, very simple trick, but people do not apply it. But it
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
nice.
It takes a lot
Lovely.
of practice. Yep.
Yeah. You've given a really very, very effective, simple, and applicable trick. Lovely. I loved it.
Good.
Good. Well, Alicia, I've got so many questions to be asked, but the time do not permit me. At the same time, as it is said that you can give only when you have, and I'm
Mm.
sure that you have practiced, you have experienced, you have done. Well, we say tapasya. Tapasya means something that which is for quite long time when you do it. So you have done a lot from your side. Then only you are able to give. So here are few of the questions. They are purely meant for you. And for that, may I ask, I've kept it as a rapid fire question. For that, I request you to reply as soon as possible in
Okay.
a shortest possible way. And
Okay.
here is my first question, that what's one daily habit that intensely reduces stress and overwhelm for sensitive women? What is that?
Breath. Breath. Deep,
Oh,
slower breaths. Close your eyes,
super.
take 3 breaths that are
Mm,
slower and deeper than
mm.
usual, then return to your normal breathing habits.
Lovely. Yes. And perhaps you might have seen that I am one of the breath expert and I love this. Yes, I fully
Lovely.
agree with you.
So you know,
Beautiful.
lovely.
Second question, how do you personally recharge
Hmm.
when your empathy feels draining? What do you do?
Well, either I take a nap,
Hmm?
or I do something joyful, something
Oh,
I love for even 10 minutes. It
hmm.
might be reading a fiction book or standing in the grass or just dancing around my kitchen to one of my favorite songs. Something just that feeds your soul with pure joy.
Beautiful. Well, what is the most surprising transformation you have witnessed in one of the client?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll be fast. There was a mom whose son was
Hmm?
getting married, and
Hmm?
she had terrible allergies and coughing, and she felt terrible, and she did not want to ruin the wedding. She didn't want the attention on her. And so we had a big long session healing a bunch of stuff. She
Hmm?
went, she danced her brains out. She had the most amazing
Oh.
time, and she didn't cough once.
Lovely, great. What
That
an
was fun.
achievement. Superb. Fine. You always say, charge your worth. What's a bold action women can take this week?
Oof, I would say
Hmm?
find out what the nervous system is trying to keep you safe from.
Wow. Wow. Perfect. Yes. Yes. Find out what your nervous system is telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go or overrule it, then you will be naturally in a trap. Very
Yep.
correct.
Yep.
Here is my next question, and that is, what's a quick mindset shift to neutralize a toxic relationship dynamic?
Okay. This can be complicated, but this is what I do when I've been in any sort of a situation that left me feeling a little icky. So with intention, I inhale all of my energy back to me.
Okay.
And then I exhale all of their energy back to them. So it could be thoughts,
Lovely.
feelings, baggage, whatever. And I keep doing that 2, 3, 4 times until I come to feel a little more peace and calm and like
Excellent.
myself.
Excellent. Excellent. What we do is we keep an imaginary wall in between.
Love that.
Yeah. So that
Mhm.
the whatever toxic conversation is coming from other side
Oh, I love that. Okay.
will get bounced back.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to practice that. That's great.
Well, one of the most favorite question that I have, because I myself is a public speaker, and as a
Mm.
public speaker fear, can you
Mm.
please give one technique that works almost
Oh,
immediately?
okay. Again, it's back to the breath. But on this one, if you
Hmm.
could breathe in and out of your heart space,
Okay.
activate your heart. And then with every exhale, picture that safe, loved container expand a little further out and a little further out and a little further out until it's in the room and the building and surrounding all those other people that you're going to speak to with this love that's in your heart. So, breath can do amazing things, as you know.
Yes, yes, yes. Good. How can women turn emotional eating
Mm.
craving into the self-awareness signals? What's
Hmm.
your answer?
Well, there's two reasons we go for food when we're not hungry. One is to avoid feelings, and the other is to create a feeling, a memory, love from your grandma, or a birthday celebration. So I would say the very first thing is
Hmm.
pause before you are about to eat the thing, and then
Okay.
say, okay, am I moving away? Am I trying to avoid my stress or my grief or my sadness? Or am I wanting to feel how my grandma made me feel when I was young? Start there.
Oh,
And you know what? If you eat the thing, but just start with the awareness, right? With no guilt or judgment, just
wow,
awareness.
lovely. Well, I still heap of questions are waiting to get answered, but time do not permit me. Well, in between, let me thank you, Elisa.
Mm.
Thank you, Elisa, for sharing your wisdom, heart, and powerful tools for healing and empowerment. Today, we have reminded that our sensitivity is a gift and our boundaries are act of self-love. And when we reclaim our power and shine, we heal ourselves and the light the way for the others.
Mm.
Let's all commit to one small, courageous step this week, if possible.
Mm.
Whether setting a boundary, releasing an old block, or simply choosing to value ourselves more deeply, you are worthy. You are powerful. And world needs your light. Yes, world needs your light. And for that, may I ask you that what would be your one suggestion
Mm.
for especially the young generation?
Mm.
What will be your message?
There's so much going on there. Bless them. I would say number one, you are not alone.
Oh,
And if you need to reach out to someone to remind you, find
mhm.
someone in the world just to not feel alone. And number two, you can do it. Whatever it is that you want, you can create the life you love. You can have the relationships and the health and the abundance and the joy. And it starts with joy. So you can do it and you're not alone and follow your joy.
Mhm. Yes, very correct. Yes, yes. I have two grandchildren, and both of
Mm.
them, they always think that we are alone, and they think that what can we do? But as you said that,
Yeah.
yes, they can.
Yeah.
Very
Start
fine.
with start with the joy. Give it to yourself first and then it attracts. Yeah.
Superb.
Bless them.
On behalf of this platform, I sincerely wish
Mm.
and pray Almighty God to give you all strength, all wisdom, all power, all money, all time, and everything, so
Mhm.
that the work that you are doing and the message that you are spreading, please keep on doing that because the world needs you.
Yeah.
And we wish you a great success. And with that, we say namaste to you. So nice of you. It was a really wonderful session. I loved it. Not only that, I personally learned a lot from
Hmm.
you.
Thank you
Super.
so much. I am honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And in future, when
Together we are global speakers talk.